Well, hello. Welcome back. So, as you can see, I am a free woman. I have my van. Um, so, let me start at the beginning. So, I was coming in, and I will not say the area I was in. I was driving. I hit the center line just a tad. Nobody else was on this road, so there was nobody in danger. I pulled over, took a couple pictures, continued on my way. Before I know it, I see an officer behind. Okay, no big deal. Go 2 or 3 miles, go to take a left. Whoop, whoop. All of a sudden, there's 3 squad cars behind me. I'm like, okay, what's going on? So, I sit and I wait. I roll down my window, both hands on the steering wheel. Get bored. So I'm like leaning against the driver's window. I see one officer walking up towards me, stops on the back of the sliding door on the driver's side and said, "You're the only one in there?" And I said, "Yes." And he goes, "Do you have any weapons in there?" And I told him where my weapons were located. And he's like, "We can't see through your back windows. Do they roll down?" And I said, "Yeah." "Can you roll them down?" I said, "Well, the one you're going to have a little trouble because it is a screen, but I'm rolling them down. Can you roll down the passengers?" "Yes." So all the windows are down. Thank goodness it's like 70 degrees. And he said, "You crossed just a little bit over the center line. Can I ask you why?" "Yes." I said, "You want the truth?" And he goes, "Well, that would be nice." I said, "Did you see that sunset? It was amazing." And I said, "I know it comes up 365 days out of the year, but that was an incredible one, and I was trying to get over so I could take a picture." And he kind of chuckled, and he goes, "Well, okay." And he goes, "Have you had anything to drink today?" "Nope." "Any drugs?" "Nope." And he's like, "You got any open containers of alcohol?" I said, "Nope. Not a drinker." "Any drugs in your van?" "Nope." I said, "Some ibuprofen." And he's like, "Oops, driver's license, etc." So I get that out, hand it to him, insurance card. He goes back. You know, they've already run my plates. They know I got an amazing driving record. They come back out and he said, "We're going to have you put your hands over to your left. And we're going to remove the knives within your reach." Okay? And so they removed those 2 knives they told about. They removed the other weapons. Cool. Then they said, "We're going to have you step out of the van." Okay. No problem. So I step out. And it's windy. We're getting like wind gusts about 30 miles an hour, but it's still warm. And there's an officer on one side, one officer at the back, and then the officer that's walking with me. He's like, "Well, I've come to the back of the van." Like, okay. And at this point, I'm thinking, is it mistaken identity? You know, why? I just barely crossed the center line. They know I'm legit. They've run my plates. They know I got a good driving record. He's like, "We're going to have you do a field sobriety test." Okay. I'm like, I just I think I smiled. And he's like, "All indications is that you've been drinking." Well, my voice does slur a little bit. That's how I talk. And I said, "Well, this might be a problem. I'm not sure exactly what you guys all do. And I should have used the correct terminology, but I said I have a balance issue. What I have is essential tremors. So I shake, and my sense of balance sometimes is off. So he's like, okay, no, medical condition. And I'm like, I can give you my doctor, my neurologist's name and number. And they're like, no, not necessary, excuse me. So he's like, the first test, we're going to have you follow the officer's eyes. And of course, they had to remove my ball cap. I'm like, but I'm bald. And they're like, we'll hold your ball cap for you. So it's like, don't move your head. Well, my head moves sometimes without my knowledge. Follow the finger. Well, when my eyes go so far, my eyelids just automatically shut. My nieces does that too. It's a family trait. Failed that 3 times. So they're like, okay, we're going to have you walk the white line. 1 foot in front of the other, and count every time you take a step, and then you pivot on whatever is your lead foot and walk back and count your steps. Okay. I kept my mouth shut, but I really wanted to say, are you going to pick up my fat butt when I hit the ground? I thought, no, they're being nice. I said, can I take off my shoes because I was wearing my clodhoppers? You can't do that. And I'm thinking, I'm fat. My thighs rub together. I can't walk with 1 foot in front of the other. I went, okay. Well, I couldn't do it. I'd go off that white lane and zig and zag. I could count to 9. That's not a problem. I went to school. So I do that and back, and they're conversing. I'm like, this is not going good at all. And then they said, we're going to have you stand on your right foot, lift your left foot 6 inches off of the ground, point your toes outwards, keep your heel parallel to the ground, and your arms straight out. And count 1001, 1002. At this point, I had asked him if I could go to the side of the van, so maybe the wind wouldn't hit me so much and it would help. And I kept having to touch the side of the van to keep myself upright. And I'm like, this isn't going good. He said, well, it's all right. You told us you had a medical condition. They had me do this 1025. I failed that test. They said, we're going to have you just rest against the back of your van, talk to our officer here. So we're just chit-chatting, and she goes, so the sun set, huh? And I said, yeah, it was really pretty. And I said, I didn't realize I crossed the line, and just chit-chatting, small talk. About 10 minutes later, they come back, and they said, well, you failed. And I thought, yep, I'm going to jail. And I can't call my kids, because I always told my kids, you go to jail, don't call me. So I knew I couldn't call them. Like, going to jail, first time in my life. And then they said, we're going to give you the breath ELISA test. So they're like, hold your breath, inhale, hold your breath, exhale. Okay. And he's like you're blowing up a balloon. He said that was a little forceful. Oh, I've never done this. And I'm trying not to laugh. And they still got their sense of humor. So we tried again. Well, I didn't blow long enough. And I'm like, God, I'm failing this test even. They're just never going to believe I'm not drunk. So, third time, he's like you're inhaling a cigarette. I went, I got this. Perfect. And he goes, okay, we'll be back. So they go back. The one officer stays with me. And at this point, I'm like, okay, boys, hurry up. It's no longer being fun. They come back and they said, well, you did pass that. do you mind? We're going to search your van. And I must have looked because they went, we're not going to take everything out. They were just going to search the front. Well, I had a bottle of water. That makes sense. They probably tested it to make sure it wasn't vodka. I've had to fire people for having vodka in their water bottles. I had a Bubba Cup like that my friend had made, that really sparkly one. There was nothing in it. But, you know, they probably swabbed it or whatever. They're probably checking, seeing she carries 2 cartons of cigarettes. This girl's a heavy smoker. Just checking for anything that I wouldn't have reported. And at this point, I'm like, come on, this is really getting to be not fun. And they come back and they said, well, all indications are that you've been drinking, but, you know, you don't have any weapons that you didn't disclose. There's no drugs, no needles, no alcohol. So we're just going to give you a warning and send you on your way. And I said, and he did thank me. He said, thank you for your patience, but he said, and our job is to keep the highway safe. And I said, actually, it's kind of fun. It's my 63 years old, and it's my first big stop. And I got a field sobriety test, which I didn't do good on. And I said, my kids are absolutely going to love this story. And he said, well, just keep doing what you're doing and stay safe. And I'm like, and then he goes, I said, my driver's license? He goes, yeah, here you go, miss. And I really wanted to, and I bit my tongue. I really wanted to say, you called me miss, now you need a field sobriety test. But I didn't. I'm like, thank you so much, officer. I put my seatbelt on, turned my turn signal on, pull out, going like 500 the speed limit. They all turned around. They didn't follow me. So, yeah, that was pretty... There's never a dull moment in my life. I always have something exciting that happens. That was probably the most exciting. It was a little nerve-wracking because I was like, I can't prove I haven't been drinking. I might have to get a card from my neurologist that says she has a medical condition. Essential tremors, you probably have seen some videos where I shake. I can do a video. If, you know, there's people that want to know more about it, I'll gladly do a video on that. It's just part of my life. I don't let my disease control me. And I don't take any medicine to control it. I let it go whatever direction it wants. So that was fun. My kids were like, God, Mom, I can't believe you of all people. And even my friends were like, but you very seldom ever drink, of you of all people. So, but I am going to ask no derogatory comments against the officers. They were doing their job. That's what we pay them to do. They were polite. They were efficient. They just wanted to make sure that I wasn't a drug user or a drunk driver that could have hurt your families. And I won't release where I'm at because I don't want any bad comments or any retaliation against our officers. You know, we respect our officers. They got a tough job out there. So just keep all comments positive if you would. I thank you in advance for that. So I am off of the ocean. I'm heading north and northeast. Just kind of bouncing around looking for someplace warm because there are really not many places that are warm right now. But I am staying warm. I know I'll head back to Iowa in about 5-6 weeks and then go back out on the road. The first meetup went really great. Cuddles and Daisy was able to meet me. We spent some time talking. Great person, and I really appreciate their time that they spent to get to know me, and I got to know them. I think she probably noticed I talk a lot faster in person than I do on the camera. I've had several of my friends even comment. you are more relaxed in front of the camera than you are normally. So yeah, what she got to see was because that's who I am. The meetup, I am sorry, I never even thought it was on a Tuesday. People work. I'm retired. I thought the whole world was retired. I found out, no, not so. So drop a comment, what state you're in, if you'd like to have a meetup, and I'll try to do a few more of those if I'm going to be in that state. I'm also going to post a picture of the glorious sunset that got me into that situation, and it was worth it. It was a beautiful sunset. So, nothing too exciting. It's chilly, it's cold, but I'm still loving my life. And Iowa's temperature is like +1 today. That's their high. So I can take the 52 degrees and cloudy sky over Iowa. So I got some views here. I can walk you down. You can see the river. Pulled over for a little bit of a break and a picnic. And, oops, you're just getting to see my double chin. That's got to be a lot of fun. So, oh, look at that huge anthill. Let's see. Look at that. That is huge. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? All the way down. So, I am going to close this video out. I had some pictures. And as always, thank you for your time. I appreciate your time more than you'll ever probably know. Oh, look at the tree. Look at the woodpecker. Look at all the designs he's made. Isn't that super cool? It's like a little camouflage tree. That's cool. And I'm not going to go down the dock. We got some gentlemen fishing. So we want to be respectful of their time. But I am going to walk you so you get to see a little bit more of it. I'll post the sunset because I come out early this morning. I got up, really early at 5 and hit the road. So I'll post the sunset I got to see here. Not going to be much of a sunset, so it won't be too bad leaving. Won't be missing too much. So in the meantime, as always, travel free, travel safe, stay fantastic. See you on the open road.